Hey folks, it's instrument time. Today we are going to discuss the Emerald Chimera. We've discussed Emerald before, so this is a very special instrument. As we know from Greek mythology, the Chimera, sometimes pronounced Chimera in American English, was a monster from Greek mythology, generally depicted as having multiple heads. So this time, we have this multiple neck monstrosity. Really cool instrument, awesome stage presence, and we'll discuss the pros and cons of the Emerald Chimera. This time, on instrument time. So, these are all custom order, essentially. You can get them every once in a while on the website as a stock item. Generally speaking, these are made to order. You can get them in multiple configurations. The standard classic configuration is exactly what I have here, which is one 12-string, one 6-string neck. So my 18-string guitar, it has the standard Emerald upper bout sound hole, which is cool, and it also has one on the bottom, which just makes it even the more cooler. Generally speaking, a guitar like this will take 3 to 6 months from the time you order to when it's delivered. So, lots of cool things. The saddle on the 12 string is hand compensated for each string, not just per course. It has Goto 510 mini tuners on it. It's a really nice upgraded tuner. These are in Cosmo Black, which I think looks cool with this guitar. This guitar is actually amber. You can barely see that in my studio, but if you're on stage and it gets hit with a stage spot, it really pops. I'll throw in some pictures at the end and of course at the beginning, and you can see that with the right lights, this color really pops. Otherwise it looks kind of dark, so that's cool. 25.4 inch scale length on both necks. The 6-string neck is basically Martin, so 1 3/4 nut width and 16-inch radius. The 12-string neck is also 16-inch radius, and I measured it with my calipers at 1.92 inches. So, just under 2 inches. So it's about right for a 12-string neck. No wood anywhere. Obviously, carbon fiber. The nut and saddle material is off the shelf from Tusk. They use black Tusk. It's supposed to have a little bit more lubricity than the white Tusk because there's some carbon in it. But I need data to show me that matters. So I'm not sure anyone really cares. It comes standard with a strap pin here on this neck. Normally on the bottom just has a pickup. I asked them to put a pin and pickup separately, and then I asked them to move the pickup jack down a couple inches counterclockwise if you're facing the instrument. So we have a separate jack and pin, which in my opinion is far more secure than the straps that go around the pickup jack. I've never had a lot of confidence in those. There's some third-hand things you can get, some that are kind of strap locky things. I've got one on the that one on the 12-string Rain Song, which helps. I might do a quick little video on that just separately, 2-minute thing. Side markers on the neck, on both necks, although it's kind of hard to see the side markers on the lower neck because the upper neck blocks it. So obviously, like I said, really cool. Looks awesome on stage. Couple issues: it neck dives like you would not believe. There's a lot of weight up top, and I've gone back and forth between using the standard strap pin here at the heel and just tying it up top hippie style, tying it up top hippie style actually kind of distributes the weight better, get less neck dive, but it kind of hampers access more so on this than it would on a traditional single necked instrument. So this one has a dual pickup system in it. It's really cool. Hidden sound hole controls right here, which you may or may not be able to see right there. It has a switch, toggle switch in the bottom hole. So top neck, bottom neck, both necks. So if you have it on both necks, then it will give you a little bit of a reverb effect, because the instrument being in tune with itself, when you strum these strings down here, you'll get a little bit of vibration on these strings as well, which you can feel. And so you can actually get a little bit of built-in reverb simply by leaving it on both necks and only playing with one, which is kind of cool. So the other thing I'd had custom done on this was I had a custom nut cut, and the G course is reversed on this guitar. So everyone knows that on a Rickenbacker, the courses are reversed with the bass string above the treble string on the 12. This one is normal except for the G course. On the G course, I've got the bass higher than the treble, and all the rest I have the treble higher than the bass. And that actually makes for easier finger picking, because if you think about when you're finger picking, your thumb makes an arc motion, which means you want the treble on the top so you can cleanly pick both. And if you play in a more traditional style, then you're using these three fingers here to pluck your bottom three courses pretty much individually, which means that I play the G course with my index finger, and now I'm curling up. So again, it gives you a little better angle to hit both strings at once. So I got that trick from one of the fellows on the acoustic guitar forum, and I hand this thing to people and nobody even notices. But it's a really neat little upgrade. They didn't charge me anything for that, just like they didn't charge me anything for relocating the pickup jack, which is cool. So it's kind of bright. It's definitely more in a Taylor space than a Guild space, especially on the 12 string. I have not changed the strings yet, and I'm pretty sure it has 80/20s on it, which probably also makes it quite a bit brighter. So when I change, I will put my standard Dario phosphor bronze strings on here, or something phosphor bronze. But you know, it strums nicely. It finger picks nicely. You can even do a bar chord, which is impressive for me. I'm not good at that. 6-string neck down here. Hold it at a funny angle so you can actually see. So clean fretboards, no markings at all, which I think looks very classy, very modern, very sleek. Rufus, their mascot, at the top of the 12-string headstock, and here again at the top of the 6-string headstock. You know, matching carbon weave on the headstocks, matching carbon weave, the whole thing. Hopefully, the whole thing is this amber color. And it's thin, so if you look, you can see it's quite thin. that probably also helps make it a bit neck heavy. This is really not a guitar for sitting in your lap and playing like I'm doing right now. This is really a guitar for, you know, getting up on stage and rocking it out and, you know, get the fans going. So they're cool. The one issue that, besides the neck dive, that does come up is that if you want to transition from one neck to the other, the space between these is quite tight. So if I, for example, wanted to transition between the 6-string neck and the 12-string neck, right? If I wanted to go it takes a little while to get your hand in here, right? So if I go from here to here, it takes a little bit. Going from the 12 to the 6 is a little easier. Got to remember to move this hand too. So I do have one song that I've written where I actually would like to do that transition. The bridge is finger picked while the rest of the song is strummed, and I think it'd be really cool if I could manage to get that transition in the middle of the song on the bridge to finger pick on the 12-string neck, which would be kind of neat. So the Chimera, the mythological beast with 2 heads that has multiple personalities depending on which one you're playing. And if you want one of these, the cost to have a double neck instead of just a 12-string, it was actually only a couple $100 more to get the crazy double neck monstrosity than a regular guitar. So I said, why not? I'll spend the extra 15% or so and get something really cool and really unique. And like all emeralds, if you have loads and loads and loads of cash and you want to put the fancy veneers on, you can do so as well. I decided that as cool as they are, it really counts as bling, and bling in the guitar sense, meaning that, you know, it's just fancy stuff that doesn't add anything to the sound. So, I mean, it's shiny and sparkly enough as it is, even with the carbon. I do like the look of the carbon, and these are cool. So this is my X7's big brother, and I hope you liked it. And I have no idea if they make these left-handed or not. They probably do. I don't know if they swap the necks around or not. I'm sure they could string up each neck left-handed. I don't know if they can swap the 12-string neck to the bottom and the 6-string neck to the top. Although they've made, you know, I've seen some cool ones where one side is a 6 and one side is an acoustic bass. I've seen one where both were 6 strings, but the fellow who owned it did that on purpose because he kept actually both in alternative tunings. I think Dad Gad on one and Open G on the other, which is like, okay. I'm sure you can get one as a baritone instead of the 12-string neck. That would actually be kind of cool. But at the same time, you can just buy a 7-string acoustic, which gives you the same range as a baritone. So I'm not sure why you'd do that either. Anyway, highly customizable, bespoke, for want of a better word. I believe the latest ones, this is a few years old, the latest ones have pinless bridge systems, which are cool. If you've seen my videos on guitars that have pinless bridges, it's actually quite a bit like the Tacoma where you put it into the hole and pull it out. Those are neat. I don't know if they still even offer the pin bridge or not. At any rate, time moves on, specifications change, and if you like these, they can be found used. They can be bought new. I'm sure Alistair would be happy to make one for you because I'm sure they make good money on these. So thanks for listening. And if you like this content, please say so below. Please like and subscribe. All the standard YouTube boilerplate that everyone should know by now. And we'll see you next time on Instrument Time.